What is up, YouTube? Welcome back. Today is the 25th of June, 2026, and we are going to be doing an MES 5-minute chart review for the day. Oops. Again, context going into the day. Like we said before, tight bull channel coming up, broke that trend line, retested the high, now in a trading range. So expecting on the daily to be bouncing around between these two price levels for a bit. We've got two legs down. So after two legs, lower chances of a third leg, unless a strong breakout starts to form. We're only 1, 2, 3, 4 pushes in this trading range. So probably going to test the top first before that happens. So yeah, we should be expecting sort of a 10 bars, two legs for bulls coming up in the next few weeks, possibly a test of the all-time high or this sell signal, one of these two sell signals. Anyway, that is that. Going over the 5-minute, starting from the open, bar one, strong sell bar at the top of a range below yesterday's high and the Globex high, which is the overnight. So pretty high up there, big strong bar, possible measuring bar, and there was definitely some traders who looked to sell underneath that. And let's see, we can see, it got that measure move pretty quickly on bar three. Bar two, inside bar, not a great sign, not as excellent of a sign for bears, but also not a good sign for bulls. Trading range bar, likely sellers above. And in this context of this large of a range, not likely to have sellers at the close either, since this is a stop order sell here. Three, huge bar, another potential measuring bar. Not sure if they got that measured move or not. It looks like they did. Beautiful. So you get these two, and now you're thinking not necessarily a bear trend from the open, but strong leg in a trading range should get two to three legs down for bears to start. And since it is the 5-minute and this is a very strong leg, this looked more like one, pull back two, pull back three legs, tested the bottom of the range, tested under yesterday's low. Strong follow through bars here, but as you can see here, buyers started to come in as we neared yesterday's low, and so not a great stop order sell or anything like that. You see a big leg like this, you don't really want to chase it down. If you're, especially in a range, if you're a stop order seller or a limit order seller, you want to say, all right, they should get a second leg on a higher time frame, like the 15-minute, and so wait for a pullback to then sell it down for a second leg. 7 here, huge bar for the bulls coming off support, measuring bar. Again, plenty of bulls saw that and said, buy the close, buy one tick above the high, go for a measured move. And then 8, great follow through also, measuring bar. This measured move though below this one, but you can see, ticked it and sold off a little bit. So possibly profit takers there. And then on this one, we got the measured move up here. It tested the one low, the two low sell signal, hit the measured move, three-legged pullback, wedge top, and so got multiple reasons for there to be selling here. Hourly MA, measured move target achieved, so profit taking, and strong sell signal that got a great first leg. So reasons to sell off there. And 18 comes in, good reversal area for the day, and also huge measuring bar. And plenty of bears said, all right, can sell one tick below that low, go for a measured move, or big strong bar, sell on a pullback, sell in the, at half the size of the bar, because we've got bulls probably thinking that this is a strong enough signal that they could get a scalp buying the low for another leg up, and they get trapped in on 18. And so finding the spot for them, you know, at 17 low or half the bar to sell on the pullback for a scalp down. 20 also measuring bar, as you can see there. 21 also looked like a measuring bar, but late in a second leg, 1 pullback 2, lower in the range, and getting into the support area of this big measuring bar here. So not a good place to sell in the bottom half of the range. So after this though, another strong leg, and you'd think, should get another leg down on the higher time frame like we did here, but might need TBTL pullback back up into a resistance area to get that. And so it took about another hour for that of 10 bars and 2 legs to get that pullback and then set up our sell. 34, a great swing short in a trading range. So 22 was also a pretty good buy for same reasons in the support area. After 2 legs down, big leg should get TBTL pullback, strong bar, possible measuring bar, and it did get that measured move target. Which brings me to why 34 is a great swing short. So we've got resistance area up here, sellers at the 28 high, sellers up here at 17 low, 2 legs, possibly 3, 1, 2, 3, wedge top. Strong sell signal and at the measured move. So bulls who bought this and held for their measured move target, taking profits. So a lot of them exiting right there, and a lot of good reasons to. Also near the hourly MA again. So you could sell underneath 34 for a swing short, and those folks certainly, with a reasonably tight stop, could have gotten, a 3R target down there. So strong leg down, should get 2 legs, 1 pullback, 2 small second leg, not very strong, trend line breaking, bar 40 area. After this, this could be a third leg in a range on the 5 minute. And as you can see, at the end of the day, this was all just a triangle trading range on the hourly and the daily, or excuse me, the hourly, 15 minute and the 5. Okay, so, expecting down here, bottom of the range, after the strong leg, second leg failed, now going to get TBTL, could be another hour. And so, here is that hour. The longer time we spend inside of, the 38, 39, 40 range, the more it has to go before that 10 bars and 2 legs, the adequate pullback or adequate movement is sufficient. So we get 10 bars and 2 legs, we get that second leg down. For this one on the higher time frame, at least a lower attempt, found buyers under bar 40 or in the low of bar 40 range here on 53. So you can think of that as a trend line break or failed breakout of a trading range. Possibly even an expanding triangle here if you really look at it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Anyway, so trend line break here. Pretty strong reversal. First one fails, retest, second reversal. And so 55, in the right context could be a measuring bar, like up here at bar 61, but it's low in the range. It's trying to break out of a tight trading range at a large support area. You're at the bottom of a range on the daily, on the hourly, on the 15 minute, on the 5. Not great context, but 56 immediately reversing trading range price action should get a measure move up, and it did. And same reasons here for 58 and 60 not being very good measuring bars is back up at resistance. And if you wanted to draw like a line, a trend line for this triangle here, something like that, although that didn't end up being holding very well, you'll see like now you're trying to buy outside that trend line, and the trend line is, fairly strong in a triangle, haven't quite reached the apex. Not, it has not been long enough for one to think that a breakout is likely of that quite yet. So we just said measuring bar 61, good for a measured move down. Got 1, 2, 3 legs all the way down to here. Breakout attempt below the wedge bottom, or formed a wedge bottom here, kind of like 1, 2, 3 wedge bottom, buy signal into the close. Also a measuring bar here on 77, got that measured move, and possibly 78 as well. So just the thought process there. So good sells, 1 legitimate sell at the top of a range, 3 also great measuring bar, good sell, 7 here, good buy signal, good buy, like buy the close setup, either 7 or 8 for a measured move up. 18, good sell, selling on a pullback of 18, also a good sell, or bar 20, another decent sell, high enough in the range that you can get a profit, a scalp profit, because you're not really expecting a swing from this area. 34, good swing short, top third of the range, good sell signal after a wedge top measured move target reached. Bar 40, maybe good enough for a scalp, especially after the measuring bars in this trend got their measured move target, and at coming off 22 low and the support area, good enough for a scalp on a TBTL. Bar 51, probably an okay scalp. 56, good measuring bar to buy the close. Bar 61. And so 61 you could have bought for, or sold, for a measured move, reasonable measured move. 67, reasonable also for a measured move, since you probably have room down to the bottom of the range. But, should size it as a scalp and treat it as a scalp as well. And then 77, 78, okay buys, but you're late in the day, near the close, has to be treated as a scalp, not probably going to go for a strong swing profit, and also in the apex of a triangle. So a lot can happen there. But anyway, those are the reasonable scalps and swings for the day. That is the bar by bar review. Fairly quickly, thank you very much. If you enjoyed this, leave a like, subscribe if you want to, comment something. I don't know. Anyway, thanks for listening.